5 साल में एक बार चुनाव आए, महीना 2 महीना चुनाव का उत्सव चले, फिर सब काम में लगे। ये बात सबने बताई।
So दोस्तों, the central government has reportedly formed a committee under the former president Mr. Ramnath Kovind, and this particular committee will try to examine the possibility and applicability of one nation, one election policy in India. And there are also speculations that the central government will try to introduce this bill in the special parliament session which is scheduled to happen from 18th to 22nd of September. So in this particular video, we will try to understand that what exactly is one nation, one election and how that's going to impact us. So welcome back to the channel. Namaste ji and let's get started.
One nation, one election, one nation. अरे हमको क्या मिलेगा one election की 10 election की 12 election? बताओ आम आदमी को कुछ मिलेगा one nation, one election?
So दोस्तों, basically one nation, one policy means that whenever the Lok Sabha elections will happen in our country, all the state assembly elections will also happen at the same time to save cost and to save time and effort. And if we look at the official data, then during 2019 Lok Sabha elections, almost we had spent 10,000 crores, which is more than $1 billion. And this is only the official number. If we look at the unofficial estimate, then the cost goes beyond 60,000 crores, and hence the central government wants that if we can adopt one nation, one election policy, then that can save time and cost for the entire nation. So that is why this committee is being formed, and Mr. Ramnath Kovind will try to understand and will also try to discuss the topic with other political leaders, and then will try to present a plan to the government about if it is at all feasible or not, and if it is feasible, then how the government can actually implement the system. Well, but we also need to understand that this is not a concept or this is not an idea which is being introduced in India for the first time by the BJP government or by Narendra Modi. Well, this practice was applicable till 1967 also. But after 1967, there were some states whose assembly got dissolved prematurely, and hence elections were conducted before the actual timings. And in 1970, the Lok Sabha also had got dissolved prematurely, and hence in 1971 elections were conducted. And hence the central government wants that if we can again go back to adopting the same exercise, then that can actually save cost and time and efforts for everyone else. But as usual, there are some people who are in favor of one nation, one election policy, and there are some people who do not want that our country should adopt this. And if we talk about the supporters, then Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been a big vocal supporter of this policy. And in fact, after 2019 Lok Sabha elections, when he had said that a committee will be formed which will examine the applicability of this policy.
52 से लेकर के आज तक लगातार चुनाव में रिफॉर्म होते ही रहे और होते रहने चाहिए, और मैं मानता हूं इसकी चर्चा भी लगातार होती रहनी चाहिए। उसके अंदर खुले मन से चर्चा होनी चाहिए, बंधे मन से होने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। आउटराइट ये कह देना कि एक देश एक चुनाव के हम पक्ष में नहीं, अरे चर्चा तो करो भाई, आपके विचार होंगे, हम चीजों को स्थगित करो। मैं मानता हूं जी कि जितने बड़े बड़े नेता हैं, व्यक्तिगत जब भी मिला हूं, सबने कहा यार ये बीमारी से तो मुक्त होना चाहिए। एक बार 5 साल में एक बार चुनाव आए, महीना 2 महीना चुनाव का उत्सव चले, फिर सब काम में लगे। ये बात सबने बताई। हमारे देश में पहले एक देश एक चुनाव होता था कि बाद में गड़बड़ होने के बाद डिरेल हुआ है।
And before Narendra Modi, when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of India, then also he had discussed the idea with the Congress leader Sonia Gandhi. So these are the major supporters, and if we talk about people who do not want it to happen, well, then that includes majority of the regional party leaders.
हम लोगों को one nation, one election तुम रखो, हमारी बला से 1000 इलेक्शन करा लो, 2000 इलेक्शन करा लो, हमको क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
All those regional party leaders feel that since the central government and the BJP has got more resources, then and if the elections happen at the same time, then obviously the regional parties, due to resources constraints, have a disadvantage during the elections. And also there is a report by India Today which says that 77% of the voters tend to vote for the same party if the elections happen during the same time, and hence the regional party leaders feel that this is something which is only in favor of the central government. So again, to reiterate and to conclude, this particular panel will actually understand this only, and it will get into discussion with other political leaders as well. And still there are some questions which still remain unanswered, that even if we want to adopt this policy, then there have to be certain amendments which needs to be made to the constitution, and also what will happen in a scenario if the state government gets dissolved prematurely. So all these questions need to be answered by the panel which has been formed, and the panel is also responsible to examine the the possibility, and it is also responsible for proposing a plan for the central government to adopt. So thank you so much for watching the video. Namaste ji, and stay tuned.